Have you noticed? Hey, I wanted to say good morning. But have you all noticed that suddenly, none other than Paul has entered your screens? TV host, producer, and host/air personality. Okay, let's begin. Good morning, friends. We are very glad to have you with us. At this moment, we are in Las Vegas, but soon we'll go to LA to visit a museum. Stop. I know that when you tell people about any museum, they say, stop. Why are you writing off our viewers like that? I know, but now we will invite you to a museum that you definitely haven't seen before. So let's go to LA, Petersen Museum, and we will tell you what we saw in that museum. It was amazing. Yes, it's a museum that will grab your attention. And maybe you are looking for a car for your own museum on your own yard. For your personal museum, don't forget that any used car's VIN number's history has to be checked at Car Vertical so that you could find out what that car is really worth, as seller writes his ad. And it's very important that you can check your car's history, hidden history, with 20% discount by using promo code GD20. And even if you are searching for a used car, and all the old defects and crashes of the car don't frighten you, it's still important to know them by getting info on Car Vertical. It's good to know hidden history of the car. And now, energetically, we are traveling to LA, and we'll be visiting museum with Ferrari and Porsche, Wow, and Formula One cars. There is so much there that, for the first time, I can tell you in huge confidence, you will be amazed. We came down to the vault of the museum, which houses additional cars. I'm looking at the map to see what they keep here. At the beginning, we see the oldest cars. Cars made before both world wars, and cars I like to see the most. Fast cars and racing cars. Let's go and see them. Finally, my eye caught a Ferrari. La Ferrari. It's a first hybrid car from Ferrari. It's made in 2015. Only 500 of these cars were made. And it has 6.3 litres V12 petrol engine combined with EV motor, and both of them make 950 horsepower. Impressive. I can say as an expert that this generation's Ferrari weren't very good. Izzy, please agree with me. Why? I think that every brand has cars that weren't good enough, and this is one of them. But seriously, there's so much going on here. Now, Izzy should turn around, because I see two cars, which I love the most. It's Ferrari F40 and Ford GT40. How could you not find Lauradas and old muscle cars while visiting USA? Look, collection begins with a car by the name Dead Kennedy. 1963 Lincoln Continental. Modded, and it definitely looks impressive. All of them look impressive. But what impresses me most is the name of this car. Would you name your project car Dead Kennedy? This car is not heavily customized, although it looks much different than stock. It has widened front grille, lowered suspension, new paint and beautiful rims. Look how it changed the looks of the car. I have tried to find rear tire size of this little monster, but I've had no luck, but it's very easy to see. I wanted to say under the bonnet, but actually out in the open. It has 16-cylinder engine. V-Power 8 cylinders on both sides. It has at least 4 places with V16 badge, so that there would be no doubt of the size of this engine. We spotted first exhibit from the movies. It looks like Batman's motorcycle, which was used in Dark Knight's trilogy. I've got to confess, in reality, it looks much worse than in the movie. There is some disappointment. Here's another exhibit from one of my favorite movies, Blade Runner, made in 1982, with Harrison Ford as the main lead. So here's the car which he drove in the movie. In 1982. We were not born yet. This is how, in 1982, people imagined the future. Here's another car from the movies. Green Hornet. It even has Green Hornet's sidekick sitting in the back. Who is this car's creator in the movie? And what I notice in the cars from the movies, I notice that some things look funny. Like the guns on this car. They lack realism and look like taken from a toy gun. I am a bit angry. For your information, entry to this museum is $19, which is not very expensive, but we paid additional $25 to visit this vault, because I wanted to see real Formula 1 cars. So now I am very angry, because all Formula cars are covered in plastic. Here's Micah Hacken's car. McLaren. Here's another, Micah Hacken's car, in which he became 2 times champion. Here's another McLaren, Lewis Hamilton's, his first championship-winning car. And here's the most impressive, at least for me, Formula 1 car. Ayrton Senna's car, Williams' car. And I think you all know that in 1994, race in San Marino ended tragically for Ayrton. Unfortunately, he died in the crash. It's very interesting to see evolution of these F1 cars. At first cars were smaller, then got wider, then narrower, then wider again, and now cars are much bigger. Here we have Williams from 1994, and here we can see on the newer ones, it might be Fernando Alonso McLaren car. It looks almost twice as big as the older cars. At last, I have found a car, which I wanted to see in person for a long time. It's a car from the first Batman movie. Who's the best Batman? Michael Keaton. This car acted in the 1989 movie. Look how impressive it looks. In my opinion, this is the most impressive Bat car from all the Batman movies. Definitely the most impressive part of this car is the turbine in the front, which looks like it was borrowed from a fighter jet. Of course, it's just aesthetic, but it definitely looks awesome. This car was built in the era of practical effects, not CGI, so the car was functional and acted in the movie. So we can see it in person, not just computer screen. We can get inside this car, start the engine, and drive away. I personally prefer practical effects over CGI. Here's another interesting car, Vision Efficient Dynamics concept from BMW, which later became BMW i8. It's interesting that BMW i8 road car is not that different from the concept. i8 doesn't have the glass doors, but the mass production car is almost identical, and we definitely approve that design. What is USA without a Corvette? Here we can see Corvette Mk1, 1954. This was the time when Chevrolet decided that American youth needs a fast and affordable car. This car cost almost $2,800 in 1954, 155 horsepower and 108 miles per hour. Here's the beginning of Corvette history. Here's a cult car. Just look at this car. Eleanor, the real one. Nicolas Cage stole and drove this car in the Gone in 60 Seconds movie. Because of this movie, a lot of drivers dream of doing the jump scene from the movie. I wonder what would be the feeling of jumping this high. Eleanor managed an impressive jump in the movie. Of course, this car was built for the movie, and maybe it's not perfect, and you could love it or hate it, but the car is impressive. So let's look at the good bits of the car. Another cult classic, impressive for a few reasons. First, it's a DeLorean. Second, it's a time machine car from the Back in the Future movie. Paul described this car as the Home Depot build because all the wiring looks like it was bought at the house appliance store. Look how much wiring it has. I have never seen so many wires in one car, almost the same quantity as your home has. Also, we can see where Elon Musk got his inspiration for Tesla Model X doors. Just look at this. I was looking at this bike, and I definitely have seen it before, because I saw it in a movie with Christian Bale, Terminator Salvation. It's built on Ducati Monster base, but it looks much different from the original bike. It's not just a bike, it's a robot bike. Of course, on the side of the bike, we can see a cult robocar. Another cult car, KITT, crime-solving partner of David Hasselhoff. It's a shame we can't show you the interior of the car, because steering wheel is the most impressive part of this car, but at least we can see these working lights in the front. Here we can see the car, with whom Rolls-Royce wanted to prove something. It looks like a concept car, but it's a road car. There was made more than 2,000 of these cars between the years 1925 and 1934. It has 7.7 litre, 6 cylinders in line. Maybe not so impressive horsepower figures for our times, 108 horsepower, but I think the most impressive part of this car is the looks and size of it. It's a two-door coupe which is almost 7 meters long. Impressive length for a two-door coupe. I don't know if you can see how long this car is, because it's massive and very impressive. Okay, now we can see Porsche cars, all kinds of them, from Sully from the movie cars to off-road cars. But the most interesting thing is that I overheard 2 USA citizens, and one of them asked, Why can't our Detroit make cars like Porsche does? So let's look at some of the Porsche cars. I'm not a very big fan of museums, and I was not very keen on visiting them, but I'm very thankful to Izzy, who dragged me to this museum, and it was the most impressive place I have visited in my life. So now it will be difficult to amaze us, but soon you will see more videos from us. We have one more part from Petersen Museum, which you will see in a short time. So don't forget to subscribe our channel, leave a comment and share with your friends. We will see you soon. Today we say goodbye to you all, and wish you good week. Oh, here comes third host of this show. We couldn't catch his name. Here comes another one. Thanks again for visiting. See you soon.